They found him slumped against the run-down brick house. His eyes, non-human, large and glossy, like something nocturnal, had moved in and refused to blink. Although dead, a long, drawn-out whiz comes from his mouth, as if trying to take his last breath. I guess a twisted torso can't inhale so well. Apparently, he's been lying there for over a month, but authorized personnel are too frightened to remove the body. They talk of a formidable crippling feeling that swarms over them whenever they're in close proximity to the body. But the further away they go, he starts to blink, and his body quakes like he's screaming for help. Some say his movements are just illusions carried out by spirits of the dead. Some say they're real, but can only be seen at a distance with the third eye. Some say there's no man slumped against the brick house at all. But all I know is that my mind doesn't deceive what my mind cannot conceive. Because he looks at me like the ghost he's never seen. Toxic rust with an obsidian black rim. Gaze through me, he points at me. I point at myself. Who, me? Then I gather that he's pointing past me. His voice wafts, but his mouth doesn't move. I look back, but there's nothing there. I turn to him, and he's gone, so I run off. I'm not staying to experience the platonic limerence forced into my psyche to end up as a filament drained of my light. I see blue flashing lights. I hear sirens that sound like sinister screams in the night. I feel dead people. I taste rotten fowl. I smell dead sheep. I sense sour scowls. Now Mulan pulls up, a brave heart that gets out of her car. She sees his floppy body crushed against the brick house, smothered like the breath that clawed its way out of his chest. She takes out her camera, snapping up photos of this pale specimen. There's 3 flashes. You know the typical white flash of a camera. But the more it flashes, the colour begins to mould into a Stygian red that creates dark spots in the lingering atmosphere. That's creepy, man. She stops for a minute, scratching her head, taking in this confusion of dead matter fusion. Then checks his pulse and his heart beats. She hears the wind howl and feels someone behind her and quickly looks back. A sigh of relief And as she turns back around, she looks into his eyes, designed by a nightmare. She shreds and recoils, but his lifeless body and fixed orb eyes of terror pierce through her trembling soul. Shudder, my mother. She calls for backup, but they refuse her request. The commissioner told her she's crazy for ending up at the brick house, where the haunt will live inside of her head. Can't you see, you foolish meddler? You have no business leaning into places that are meant to remain unseen. That brick house will turn you inside out. Your eyes will melt as it nibbles in your sleep. So don't close your eyes, Mulan. Don't sleep for a week. The commissioner hangs up. She gulps, as though it's her last day on Earth. Yet, an oddball grabs her on her shoulder. She flinches. A soul of many horror stories. Looks just like you. Talks just like you. Walks just like you. Though what throws you off is that they have vague blue mottled patches on their skin and slight jaundice in their eyes. They move in on her air with breath that drifts through her air canal and vibrates, sending her spellbound into a white-eyed still shot while they talk. It moves in quietly and lives inside your head. It replicates dark matter as a disease. You begin to see things behind the world's liminal ring. It's real, but rearranges things in your mind, and your own life disintegrates into a haunting place. They whisper. Mulan's taken back to a time of a loving family. Happiness reigns in the house. Party poppers burst. Friends slide, grip and ride. Then the room turns into moss-covered walls. Wells of friends being yanked into a dark rift. Bits of flesh scattered into the unsettling ambience. Shadows candy dance with ghosts' rotten candy arms. Wary, she sifts through paper trails, eye-watering figures of piles of debt. A knock on the front door, echoing shouts of bailiffs. She peeps through the fish-eye lens. Black cloaks with missing facial features, suffocating in mist like they're the Grim Reaper. Open the door, girl, they proclaim with unrelenting persistence. She slowly steps back when a shrilling laugh pierces her skin, squeezing her organs, juicing her eyes. For a minute, she dissociates from this reality, like she's dead inside of already being dead, then brought back to life through the netherworld instead, like demons creeped inside and infected her head. The voices in her mind shed layers of her skin, the whispers of time, speak to her beyond what's linear. I'm coming for you. Those words that slump the heart. Her world slows down. The clocks around her distort into a sludge of decaying matter that pulls her into the maroon heckler. Another place behind the grime, where her senses are lost, her vision blurs and is replaced by an ectoparasite. The bailiff's whispers turn into subsonic screeches of lost beings. The gastric tang is a visceral assault on her nostrils. The phantom caress, clammy and cold, wraps her in a cocoon of suffocating memory.